Okay, here's 4 that I was working on that I've got my first marks on. I haven't really planned. I haven't really cared about composition. I just wanted to get some stuff on there so I could now respond to it. And so the palette is a mixture of this one and another 4 that I've been working on. As you can see, there's just random kind of strokes and lots of different marks and different colors, all working within one palette that I'm blending together to see what else I can get. That sort of colors, I don't mind the muddy colors, but I'll just get another brush so I can get something different out of it. Yeah, at this point, like I say, I'm not really thinking about composition. I'm trying to get a lot of variety on here. I'm trying to get a lot of color, but when I say color, I'm also putting in neutrals to offset some of the brighter colors. Moving across the 4 paintings a lot. I do that a lot so that I don't get too stuck, too in my head. I just want to be giving myself something different on each one before I start to think, okay, where do I want to head with these compositionally? I'm trying to get light marks, get dark marks, see what happens when I go across all 4, see what happens when I put the light colors over the darker colors, so it sort of goes into this beautiful kind of transparent marks just peeking through the lighter layers. I love that kind of look. When I've got the opportunity for that in my earlier layers, I love seeing, okay, what happens when I put a very, very transparent white over the top. That was a bit more opaque, but it'll dry quite transparent. What happens to that line when I go over it? And it's such a beautiful neutral tone that softens some of those brighter colors that I also tend to use. And I can always bring those brighter colors back, but let's see what's going to happen when I go over some of them so that it's got variety in there. I'm looking for variety. I'm wanting variety, but I'm also just wanting to move quite quickly, not think about it too much. At this point, the oil pastels in there. Ooh, that quite often happens with my pastels. They may look like quite a mess at this point, and I'm okay with that. I'm actually actively making mess so that I can come over the top and create some more interesting shapes that I might be able to do something with in a later layer. I love to see what things come out if I circle them, for instance. If I put a line around that, what happens? If with this entire bit of mess that's going on here, if I decide that this bit should be in something, it creates a frame around it. And I really love the happy accidents that happen within a frame. So I'll give myself a little bit of that to play with. A different type of brush into some of these greens. I like that green colour. It's a darker version of it. It's really nice against that pink, or even melding with that pink's kind of cool. Let's see if it gets some of that on here. nice color. And do you see, as I work across all four, there's less of a chance of me kind of getting stuck in a particular sort of set of marks or a particular storyline. I also do a lot of repeating patterns, so I might keep that theme going in this area to create some focus here. And on this one, I might do something completely different. I feel like I need a different sort of brush for that. Wanting to make each one different, so I like going through different colors on different ones, moving between them, and creating continuity between them by doing crossover areas. Who knows whether they'll last, but is that nice pink? Somewhere around about here. Do love that color. That is white and a little bit of the green gold and some of the fluoro pink, and it gives you that really nice kind of fleshy tone, and I love that fleshy tone, so I'm going to put that, and I love what it does when it covers up the darker areas. So even if I'm covering up a lot of the darker areas at the moment, they will come back in. If I get rid of too much of them, then I'll bring some of those back in, because it will need it to make a good composition when I'm actually in that frame of mind. Right now, I'm really not. I'm just putting it down a second layer to get more stuff happening. And I hope this shows you how little I actually do plan at this stage. At this stage, I just want stuff. And, you know, probably I do similar marks across my paintings, and that's my marks. I love certain marks. I love the way that the paint hits the paper in certain ways, but I also love creating lots of initial layers and marks in those early layers, so that it creates history that I can then do something with. So that's probably a pretty good spot. Otherwise it'll all start to blend and some of those marks won't show up. So that's a good space to stop for a second layer. And I'll bring on my next four to keep going.